Hello, listening audience, and welcome back to Toonkind at 12 frames per second for an impromptu FPS, for which my dear buddy here is very kindly indulging me. Say hi, dear buddy who is very kindly indulging me in my nonsense.
Hi, I'm Hex.
This is Hex. We love Hex. This
Uh,
is an impromptu FPS taking place immediately after the one we just finished, uh,
which is
which is brain
hand.
hand-eye commiseration.
There you go.
I can think words in a straight line.
You're so valid. I couldn't think of it either. So
Um, yeah, we're doing great. We're so professional, actually. We are the best actual play podcast. Anyway, hi, welcome to Impromptu FPS. Um, yeah, so Memoir, funny little bird boy, took a visit over to Wizard Tower, uh, because Gregory wanted to be a mother hen for a minute.
Yep.
Um, we got reassurance. Bird is in one piece, mostly.
Yeah.
Or at
he's
the very least, in several interconnected pieces.
he's there. He's not actively in pain? Question mark. But
He's not in danger of bleeding out,
yeah.
which I think was what Gregory was scared of,
Yeah.
for personal reasons, too.
Understandable reasons. Yeah.
Yep. Personal experience will do that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no. Memoir is has been given the okay by Gregory. Gregory is not the best in terms of judgment in some places.
Yeah. As we will see shortly.
Yes. Which is why I'm actually going to poke you, Hex. What is Matthias doing
So
at the
Matthias,
moment?
not a very not so long ago, one might even say during hand-eye commiseration, had his ears were burning a little bit, and he knows tropes, so he's just like, someone's talking about me, uh, and he's not going to work himself into anxiety about that. It's likely a normal thing, so he's actually going to go calm his nerves, and he's going to be very brave because he's done this before and he can do this again. It's just next door. He's going to go to the cafe to get himself a coffee, or at least that's what he thinks he's doing.
Fair and in fact valid, and we love him. He's being so brave and so strong.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
So he's making
so
his way out of network as probably as Memoir is also making his way out of Wizard Tower.
yeah. Um, and yeah, roll me perception.
Oh boy. What is your perception? Oh, okay. And I need to get my dice. I didn't get my dice out, the one thing I needed. Yeah, we'll use you. A 15 plus 9 is a 24.
Yeah, okay, so that definitely tracks. So, Wizard Tower is adjacent to Network. So, I figure how this would work is that, as Matthias is leaving Network, he hears footsteps from somewhere, like, behind and to the side of him.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then sort of, a ruffling of feathers. At
Yeah.
which point, a breeze kind of blows a couple of loose, sort of scraggly, gold edged black feathers his way.
Yep. And he sees that, and rolling off of that 24, he follows the trail of feathers over to Memoir, and he stops because he was eventually going to check on Memoir, but much like Gregory, he wanted the chaos to die down first, uh, before he checked in. But he sees Memoir. He may I roll medicine just so he can?
Go ahead.
Yay!
Is there something you're specifically looking for the way Gregory was, or are you just kind of doing a general...
He's doing a general check on Memoir, which,
check.
yeah, yep, that's a 17 medicine.
17? Okay.
Yeah.
So, he's alive.
He's alive.
Which is better than might have been expected, given the lead up to certain things.
Mm-hmm.
The reason the feathers kind of blew loose was because it looks like he's, stretching, getting ready for takeoff. And with his wings stretched out, it becomes kind of immediately clear he's a bit of a hot mess.
Yeah.
Matthias, you are, shall we say, something of an expert in appearances.
Mm-hmm.
Part of that comes with the whole, changeling thing. You can appearance however you please. But part of it comes from who you are and how you conduct yourself.
Yep.
And so, you can look at the person in front of you, and with some expertise, identify a train wreck.
Yeah. And...
this is someone who has not been taking care of themselves for a bit.
Nope. And Matthias sees this, and he just has a, oh no, no. Like, physically, Memoir seems to be okay. That's the important part. But also, Memoir has not been taking care of himself. It is so clear. So, Memoir is about to take off when he sees Matthias striding towards him with purpose.
Memoir just, stops in, the stretches, lowers his wings a little bit, and just kind of raises a hand like, oh, hey, Matthias, how are you?
I think I should be asking you that, Memoir. How are you doing?
Oh, been better, been worse. He kind of shoves his hands in his pockets and shrugs.
He gives a little laugh, but it's very clear that it's like... It's a press X to doubt on the been worse part. Like...
I mean, hey, I'm not actively dying of poison this time.
That's actually fair. You know what, that's fair. I didn't consider that. But, how are you feeling?
He kind of tilts his head, looks a little confused, and just kind of says, well, like I said, I'm up and at 'em, aren't I?
That's not good.
Beg your pardon?
Matthias makes like a vague gesture, behind him as reference of everything that just happened in a vague gesture of because of the everything. You really should not be up and around. You should not be flying right now. I take it you came from Gregory, and he...
Yeah, he wanted to give me a bit of a once-over, line-out stuff,
And he said you were okay.
Best we can figure.
At least line art wise.
Yep. And he kind of taps the metal part of the line art, and it makes a little bit of a ting noise.
Okay. So your line art's okay. Um, and he's trying so hard to figure out how to say this without sounding very mean because he doesn't want to be mean, but he's also trying to not be too forceful, but also, oh my god, Memoir, you look like hell.
And we're just kind of like looks at him, sees that he's trying to be polite, and says, "You can be rude with me. I don't care."
I just that's Memoir, you look like garbage right now. And then he winces.
Breaks out laughing. Shit, I would expect I would.
No, I mean, like, I not just because of that. I would expect to anybody to not look great after after what you went through, but no, you really look like when and he because when you wear clothes for long enough time, they do start to wear out faster. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so he makes a vague gesture at Memoir's outfit and just says, "When was the last time you changed your outfit?"
And he kind of looks down at his clothes and kind of tugs at them a little bit and just says, "I don't know. I didn't exactly have much in the way of different clothes options out in the barn. Uh, maybe." He kind of like thinks about it, and the fact that he has to
The
think about
fact,
it probably says enough.
yeah, Matthias just nods his head like, "You're thinking about it. That's too long." When did when did you last eat?
Would be this morning. Luckily, I have a very friendly ghost who has been helping me with that bit.
Okay, good. Good. When and how much sleep have you been getting?
He kind of wobbles a hand.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. And your hygiene? Like Matthias is clearly slipping into a little bit of doctor mode right now.
Mar just kind of like joke offense, like puts a hand to his chest, like, "Matthias, are you trying to say I stink?"
Tunes don't stink like people do, Memoir. But hygiene is an important part of taking care of yourself.
I mean, I've been doing about as much as I usually do.
That doesn't answer my question.
He kind of like raises an eyebrow and just like, I mean, I made sure that I took a shower because I've been taking baths every day while I was out at the barn. Because it's no running water out there.
Okay.
Um,
But you've been regularly bathing. You've been scrubbing your hair. You've
yes,
been
Matthias.
I ask because your feathers look like shit. When was the last time you preened?
Uh, he does kind of look away a little bit guilty and just like, I don't
There's
know, I kind of stopped at a certain point because it just kept getting messed up again.
okay, that's okay. There's a difference between your routine and taking care of yourself. And it's and he kind of winces again in the I don't know how to say this in a very nice way and I'm sorry. And he says it's pretty clear to me you haven't been taking care of yourself. And I'm not saying that's not understandable. It's very understandable. Uh, but
But you're gonna take umbrage with it?
yes.
Alright, fair enough. You're the expert.
He uh he turns a little red there. He just says, "Look, just where were you heading?"
Wasn't sure about it. I was just gonna take to the sky for a bit, get some fresh air.
How about we walk?
Works for me.
All right. And Matthias is gonna make a sort of after you gesture.
Memoir will kind of look around and just kind of randomly pick a direction because he didn't really have anything in mind to do with the rest of the day.
Yeah. Matthias will eventually suggest that they go to the barn, but fresh air is also a good thing, so he's not going to, like... He doesn't want to stop that too quickly. Like, yes, he very much is still, I need to preen this bird's feathers. Holy shit, this bird needs to, like, luxuriate for a minute. Just... But...
But you said he'd offer, or that he'd suggest going back to the barn.
Yes.
Roll me insight.
Oop, alright. Bloop. That's a 13 plus 9, so 22.
So, Matthias, you suggest going back to the barn, and Memoir kind of looks a little bit queasy.
Oh, okay.
Just
Or
says, that's probably not the best idea. I haven't been back to my hotel room in a bit, but I think it's still open.
okay, we can go there instead. I wasn't aware you had that. I only knew you had the barn.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've been out in the barn for a couple months now, but, geez, actually almost, I think more than a year. Fuck. Kind of, like, runs a hand through his hair, winces because it's tangled as hell.
Mm-hmm.
Shoves his hands back in his pockets as he kind of turns and leads the way back to the hotel.
Yep.
I think it's called Midnight Manor.
Okay.
And he, puts his hands in his pockets and tilts his head and says, yeah, when I first moved here, I got a room in a hotel overnight because I didn't want to. When I first got here, Phasmus offered to let me stay with it, but I didn't want to impose, so I used the bit of money that I had in my pocket when I manifested to get a hotel room, and then just started doing odd jobs around the place, and eventually kind of became a permanent resident.
Huh.
Yeah, they're nice folks over there.
That's a...
They've
Yeah.
bit of a universal constant around here.
That is what I've noticed, yes.
They've kept it open for me longer than most places would.
As long as it's still available, then it'll suit our purposes.
Our purposes, my goodness.
Memoir, I can tell your hair's damn near matted and your feathers need a good preen. Have you ever had a self-care day?
Define self-care, though.
That's all I need to know.
Well, hey, for some people, myself included, self-care is a day when you do things that are good for your brain. And I do that sort of stuff all the time. That's
Yes,
what all
but
the black work is for.
But you also need to do stuff that's good for your body.
I don't have a counter to that.
Matthias just kind of grins, like, he does that yes I win grin. um,
Memoir will just, like, gently elbow him.
he kind of mimics Memoir in putting his hands in his pockets, and he says, it's not doing stuff that's for your body is it's also good for your brain, because I'm not up to date on all of the what is the word I'm looking for?
Terminology?
No. Not up to date on the nope, that's fuck.
What does the word mean?
I'm trying to be like I'm not up to date on the blank, but I know that it's that what is good for that I know that the theory, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll go with that. I'm not up to date on the theory or the actual sciences of it, but doing good for your body is what releases good chemicals for your mind, and it can help you feel better in general.
Mm. I don't know. The physical maintenance stuff always just. He kind of blows his hair out of his face. Always felt tedious. Takes so long.
That's kind of the point. You're not supposed to do it all of the well. Some things you are supposed to do all the time, and he makes a gesture. He again pointed look at Memoir's hair.
Memoir just kind of like not super embarrassed, but does self-consciously tug on his bangs a little bit.
Yeah, uh, but he says,
His ear feathers kind of press back against his head.
"Mm-hmm. It's you're supposed to have a routine for general maintenance, but then the special stuff. It's supposed to take time because it's supposed to give you time to relax and reset."
Usually, when I want to relax, I'll just go flying for a bit.
And that's a good thing because that's exercise and that gets your muscles working and everything. But this is again, it's a different kind of care. That it's that if you don't take care of your body, if you don't what's the phrase, and if you
If you
don't
don't
do the
take time to schedule maintenance, your body will do it for you.
yeah, that's kind of this as well. It's yeah, I don't know how long it would take for tunes, but just if it were me, I would be a slimy mess right now, and be it would have a negative effect on everything about me.
Memoir does kind of laugh a bit at that and kind of looks himself over and just says, "Well, I don't see any slime, but I take your point."
Yeah, it's it's something that you should do once in a while just to make sure that you aren't neglecting yourself.
Eh, that one might be another one of those things that I just never picked up on. He kind of does a little bit of a stretch, and there's kind of a clinking sound from the joints in his fingers.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of shrugs and says, "I've been figuring most of this being alive stuff out on the fly. Gotta admit, I'm a bit envious of you. You seem to have certain parts of it more figured out than I do."
Matthias kind of winces at that, and uh he just kind of shrugs a shoulder and says, "That's because I had to."
Shit, sorry, man. Didn't mean to bring up bad
Nah,
memories.
no, it's okay. It's not. You're all right. It's all right. And he offers Memoir a smile that's like it's a genuine smile. Like he's just to say like no hard feelings. It's I had to adapt the way I did, and I mean here I am, and I guess to say that you also had to adapt the way you did, and here you are, and now I'm helping you. So
Yeah, we both are.
exactly. I'm pretty sure there's some things that you could. Well, I mean, you've helped me plenty with things, and now I guess it's my turn.
Memoir does kind of snort and shake his head at that, and just he's not gonna directly comment on it, but
Mm-hmm.
in his head he's just like, help may be a bit generous in terms of what he's done for Matthias.
He helped plenty.
He caused a crisis.
He did, and he should have. That crisis was needed, just like this intervention was needed. So, once they do arrive, Matthias is clearly thinking about how best to go about this, because it's like, step one, get a comb through Memoir's hair. Okay, first of all, gross hair doesn't comb well. So step one, shower. Bathe the bird.
Slam dunk the bird into the shower.
Just pick up the bird and throw him into the shower. Make him take a nice long shower. Use the shampoo and the conditioner. And the body scrub and the body wash.
Roll me a perception as we actually enter Memoir's hotel room.
Okay. Ooh. Okay, so that's a 19 on the dice. That is a 28.
Rad. Okay. So, 28. So you guys head through Midnight Manor Hotel. Memoir opens the door to his hotel room by, he takes the hotel key out of his hammer space. Has to blow a layer of dust off of it, because it's been in hammer space for long enough to acquire a comedic amount of dust.
Yep.
And his room is also a fair bit dusty.
Uh-huh.
He has not been here for a bit.
Yeah, this isn't like, this is the dust of, this room has been empty.
Yeah. And, like, there are markers that this is, Memoir's space, in that, there are a lot of his older projects kind of situated on various surfaces around the room, which means that there's a lot of ticking clocks and, old music boxes.
Mm-hmm.
And there are a couple of newer pieces of, like, glasswork, but those look very much like Memoir's early projects with glasswork.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
The bed is kind of a absolute mess of blankets, but it is identifiable as Nest TM.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It's a mess because it's a bird's nest, literally.
Yes.
There is a broken mirror shoved into a corner and half covered by a sheet, which Memoir kind of winces at and walks over to and pulls the sheet over a little more fully.
Mm-hmm.
And just kind of mumbles something about, like, don't look at that.
Okay.
Luckily, there is no longer glass on the floor. Thank you.
Good. Good.
There's a desk off to one side of the room that has, a mini fridge shoved underneath it.
Mm-hmm.
And a microwave on top of, the far end of it, and then every other inch of it is covered in old paperwork and case files.
Yep. Alright, okay.
And there is obviously, it's a hotel room, so it's kind of organized like a master bedroom in a house where it's got the attached bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
And that space looks fairly normal, I guess, if we're talking about passing inspection.
Yeah.
But there is one thing Matthias would notice, which is, the whole thing about use the shampoo and the conditioner. Yeah, of course I would. They're the same bottle.
Matthias making a face like, no, that won't do.
Kenmore looks at him a little confused, like, what, something wrong?
Okay, the problem here is Matthias is real kind, so he doesn't just have these things on him. But he does say, I am going to go downstairs and ask the staff for some stuff, and then you are going to take a nice hot shower, And while you do that, and then once you're done with that, we were going to get you, I don't want to say pampered, but you're gonna feel pampered.
Memoir just does look at him with, like, there's amusement there, and there's also a slight bit of intimidation.
Yeah.
Like,
yep.
oh, okay, Matthias is in his element.
Yep.
Oh, boy.
Yep. Just, he knows what he's talking about. Uh-oh. So, Matthias is going to...
When, your friend is fully in their element in something you have no context for.
You're just along for the ride, like, okay. Yeah. So, Matthias is gonna just say, just go turn the shower on. I'll be right back. And he's gonna run down to the concierge or the main front desk of the hotel, because I assume they have bottles of this stuff. They have to. So he's gonna...
Hotel.
Yeah, he's gonna ask specifically for both shampoo and conditioner, but the separate bottles. And he's gonna ask...
I think the concierge looks at them a little confused, like, yeah, of course they're separate bottles.
Okay. Matthias, like, slumping in relief, like, okay, good.
His Memoir brought his own.
Yeah. He's gonna ask for, like... He's gonna ask for also just a body wash, and if they have, like, a scrub or anything else like that. Maybe even a lotion. Just... He's gonna ask for multiple things, and then once he has that, he's going to return.
Yeah, and I think that, while he's down there getting all that sorted, Memoir is upstairs, in his room, and he gets the shower turned on, and then goes about getting the room cleaned up a bit, throwing out whatever was in the mini fridge for however the fuck long he's been gone.
Yeah.
Straightening things up, organizing the desk so it doesn't look like such a wreck.
Understandable.
Getting the desk somewhat tidy.
Yeah. Understandable, honestly. And he hears Matthias politely knock on the door, because he's not going to just barge in. He is going to knock.
Memoir will go and get the door for him.
Thank you. He sees Matthias standing there with just an armful of stuff, of bottles.
Just looks at that and just kind of laughs a little bit and is just like, you look like you're about to commit chemical warfare.
Well, that is kind of what we're doing.
Memoir laughs.
And he walks in, strolls into the bathroom, and sets each thing, like, down on a line, like, in a line of, like, this is the order you use this in. And he explicitly does say, like, use this first, then this, and then you use this, and then you use this, and then you use this, and then when you get out, you use this.
I need to roll an intelligence for Memoir. Because this is not his area. He's doing his best.
He's doing his best, and it is a lot.
He is so, like... To borrow a quote from one of my favorite YouTubers that I've watched, this is one of his straight man qualities. Okay, a 15. That's pretty good. He's nodding along. He looks a little puzzled and is just, like, internally just, this is so many more steps.
This is so many more steps. Why would I do this when I have a perfectly good one step right here? And it's like, no. Matthias, I think, sees Memoir's expression. He just says, you can do your one step whenever you want. This is special. Good. And then he pushes Memoir into the bathroom and says, now get cleaned.
Roger that, Captain.
Matthias isn't gonna be, like, he's gonna let Memoir do that at his own pace, like.
Yeah. Memoir is just a little confused at this whole thing. And then pauses and, turns, walks out of the restroom, goes over to the dresser, and grabs some actual clean clothes.
Yeah. And Matthias
'Cause
nods
he's
like, good, good, good.
Because, like, again, he hasn't had running water, so he has been, cleaning his clothes with, the river, basically.
Mm-hmm.
But, his clothes are clean, but they're very worn out.
Yeah.
So he grabbed some of the stuff that he typically wears as pajamas.
That's fine. Like, pajamas count. This is self-care. This isn't about, like, oh god, you need to be presentable. This is doing things to make you feel good. So,
Yeah, he does, like, kind of glance up at Matthias and is just like, we're not planning on, I don't know, going anywhere.
no. Not unless you want to.
You know what? I think I'm overwhelmed enough right now as it is without having to consider public presentability.
You'll feel just trust me, okay, Memoir? You'll feel better.
Listen, like I said, you're the expert here. I am putting my faith in you. This is still an entirely new field of study here.
Matthias has enough sense to blush a little bit, like, right, yeah, sorry.
Ember kind of laughs and just over his shoulder as he's picking out just like a pair of pajama pants and a tank top is just like, I mean, you spec'd into this skill tree. My skill tree was throw yourself at the books until your brain breaks. And then go and do a courtroom battle.
That Matthias just makes a face like, that doesn't seem healthy.
Healthy, not necessarily. Fun, absolutely. It's very engaging.
I will have to take your word for it.
And now you know how I feel.
He ducks his head like point.
Memoir grins. It's very obvious that, he's not actually upset.
Yeah.
He's, lightly ribbing Matthias because this is a little bit overwhelming, so
yeah.
It's kind of his way of being like, okay, I am still on equal footing with this person.
Yeah. I'm leveling the playing field.
I'm not a total dumbass. There are things that I know that he doesn't.
Exactly, yeah.
But he, stands up. He's got his clothes picked out and goes back to go and take a shower.
Yep. And while he does that... Oh, go ahead.
Cranks up the heat to, an absolutely absurd level because Toon.
Gotta sear your skin off.
Under the door.
Yep. And while Memoir does that, Matthias is actually going... Memoir cleaned up the room a little bit. Matthias is going to clean it up a little more. But not in, like, the moving things around. He's just dusting.
Basic. Yeah.
He's just removing the layer of dust. He's opening the blinds. He's shaking things out, putting them back where he found them. Like...
Yeah, probably open a window to let in a bit of fresh air.
Yep, exactly.
Because the room does smell dusty.
Yeah, he is getting it to he is de-dusting this room.
Uncryptifying.
Yep.
I do imagine, just like as a bit, there is probably like once or twice that Matthias hears the shower turn off after like 5 minutes and has to be like, nope, go back.
Nope, go back. There's no way you got through all those bottles in that time.
What, you expect me to use the whole thing?
No, I expect you to scrub and lather.
Hey.
Fun fact, my parents had to do that to me when I was growing up. Because I took showers too fast and they were like, nope, go back and do it again.
Yeah.
Yup. Finally, once Matthias has deemed an appropriate amount of time has passed, when the shower turns off, he doesn't say anything. Like,
Yeah. Memoir, dries off. There's probably a sound of like a thump of something hitting the wall as he ruffles his feathers to get some of the water out.
mm-hmm.
Just thump thump against the wall a couple times.
Yeah.
Because that's how birds get water out of their wings, is they whack it against something.
Yeah. They flap.
They flappy flappy.
Matthias is digging into his bag for a comb and a brush and a couple of other things, but he is content to let Memoir do things at his pace.
Yeah, I mean, he can probably find most of that stuff around Memoir's room. It's not like he doesn't have it, it's just that he doesn't use it.
Yeah.
Like, there's probably, top drawer of the dresser or something. There's probably, a box that has, hairbrush, comb, the stuff for preening feathers, etc., etc.
Mm-hmm.
Probably with a note from Lynn.
Yeah. Matthias sees the note, sighs, like, yeah, okay.
He gets the impression that Lynn has had this conversation with Memoir
Mm-hmm.
times,
Yep.
and it just never clicks.
He's pretty certain it's not gonna click this time either, but at the very least it'll get done so that it won't be so bad, hopefully, for the next time.
Yeah.
That's the hope anyway, so.
Listen, we got him out of the woods, which means that now he's around people, so he has to actually care about what he looks like.
Mm-hmm. He has
No
to.
walking around with weak old animal blood under your nails, dude.
Nope, you are going to clean those nails.
Yeah. And I think that is probably the first kind of surprising thing as Memoir steps out of the restroom is there's a clicking sound. Because he's not wearing his shoes anymore. He's got him claws.
Yeah. Matthias.
He's also a fair bit shorter without his shoes.
Mm-hmm. Matthias checking those claws to see if they need trimmed or filed or taken care of in any way.
They're kind of toon bird claws, so...
Yeah. You can still, trim, file bird claws, because they can sometimes get pretty long and gnarly, but yeah, they're not like dog claws or cat claws. Yeah. They're not like dog or cat claws where it's like you have to regularly maintain them.
Yeah.
So...
Memoir kind of steps out of the restroom, in pajamas and just kind of does, the hands at the sides, do I pass inspection gesture.
Matthias just grins at him like, okay, good.
I feel like an overscrubbed dish.
That's honestly for your first time, yeah, you might, but you'll feel better after everything settles, I promise.
I am putting a lot of faith in your word here, dude.
I'm honestly a little surprised you don't feel better just from scrubbing all of that grime off.
I mean, define better? He kind of scratches at the back of his neck and is just like, I don't know, it feels weird.
He's trying to figure out the best way to word it. He thinks a minute, thinks a little bit longer, can't think of anything, so he just kind of shrugs and says, I don't know how best to describe it. It's just like you feel kind of new in your skin a little bit.
I mean, yeah, but new is not a comfortable feeling.
Well, and he kind of, he thinks. And then he shakes his head and just says, let's maybe that just is not for you, and that's fine. That's also information that we're getting. But it at
Yes.
least, at the very least, you are now clean and scrubbed. And now
As I said, like a dish.
yes.
He kind of like rubs his fingers together, and there's a definitive squeaking sound.
Yeah. Which Matthias is, he looks a little too pleased about that, but also he's just like, you, like, it's one of those, like, uh, if you were any cleaner, you would be shiny. Like,
Feels shiny.
he feels shiny. Just because he's not the right type of Toon, he isn't shiny, but he would be.
Yeah.
But Matthias gestures for him.
Feels
Oh,
strange.
yeah. Matthias.
A bird who is used to being dusty.
Yeah. And maybe he would be better off taking dust baths, like Lynn does. Like, who knows? But sometimes it just feels good to shower off all of that grime and just, like, now you can get dirty again and feel the dirt again. But
Feel the dirt on your skin.
Yeah, exactly. But that'll be something Memoir figures out in time. Until then, Matthias is gesturing him over to the bed because now we are going to attack your hair and those wings.
Memoir does just, cartoonish gulp of terror, but walks over.
Matthias has him sit down, and
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't, like, immediately start in. He just says, you want to go do your hair while I do your wings, or would you rather I not touch your wings?
You're. He kind of, like, thinks about it a minute, because. Fun fact for Matthias, and for, general listening, with Memoir, his wings are actually the part of him that he's most fine with other people touching.
Yeah.
Because he actually usually uses those for casual contact.
Mm-hmm.
When he quote-unquote elbowed Matthias earlier, he was probably just kind of gently bonking him on the arm with one of his wings.
Yeah.
It's more of, he's trying to decide, like, oh, okay, this is going to be extended contact.
Yeah.
If I agree to this.
Yeah.
Am I comfortable with that?
And that is why Matthias asked.
Yeah, and he does take a minute to think about it. And I think eventually he does nod and is just like, yeah, you're fine to handle my wings. Just, if you pull any blood feathers, let me know. I've got stuff for that.
Yeah, alright, I'll be careful. Can't guarantee I won't, but... Because he makes, like, he glances back at Memoir's wings and is just like, oh... Like, now that they're clean, it's just, like, it's so apparent. Like, oh, you need preened so bad.
Yeah, they do look a bit scraggly.
Mm-hmm.
Memoir kind of looks a bit embarrassed, and, his ear feathers, pressed back and down, is just like, well, the options were either stop preening or pick at it constantly, and, bald spots on the wings are cold.
I understand. I'm not, how does he want to phrase it? I'm not judging you for it. I'm thankful we're getting it taken care of now.
Memoir kind of nods and takes a breath and just says, alright, well, presuming you know how these work, and he kind of gestures at the box with the different combs in it.
Let me roll a general intelligence to see, because...
Because he's not a bird, and he doesn't have any friends who are birds besides Memoir.
And Hugh, but, like, he doesn't preen Hugh.
Yeah.
Oh, Matthias.
What did he get?
That's a nat 1.
Oh, no.
He has no idea. And he gives a smile, like just a bright smile, and he just says, "I've never used these before in my life."
Right. Okay. Then before I let you at my wings, just to avoid being flightless for a bit, let me give you a crash course. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and he will hang on, there's a specific old deviant art post
Oh, okay.
that somebody made kind of doing basically um like spec bio on an avian human hybrid and like what their self-care stuff would look like,
Okay.
and that is what I use as reference.
Mm-hmm.
um so let me find that. I really need to bookmark this. uh, Here we go. There we go. Found it. It's on Pinterest, so I'm just gonna
Hey.
copy the image and send it in chat.
Yay.
Uh, Let me just read this over. Should make sure I've got the right one.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Oh. All right, here we go. This one. So these are the kind of items that are in um the box with the preening tools.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Oh, I see.
Um,
Okay.
yeah. Um, and Memoir will kind of um give the rundown of just like, okay, so it's not exactly like combing out hair, right? You're
Mm-hmm.
not just trying to undo tangles, because feathers don't tangle. You're removing old, loose, dead feathers, but you're also, the primary purpose of it is to spread out um, oils and waxes and powders over the feathers to keep them waterproof and keep them basically flight worthy.
He nods.
I mostly do what I have to um I mostly do what I have to just stay flight worthy, but he kind of looks a little bit embarrassed and, shrugs and says, I don't take a whole lot of time with it, you know? Um,
Matthias nods.
but he will kind of, walk Matthias through how breeding feathers works, how it looks to, how to identify a dead feather versus, one that's just kind of messy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, I think the description he uses is that it's a bit like picking fruit in that if it's dead, it will come loose the minute you tug on it. If it stays stuck, don't pull at it
Mm-hmm.
because that will hurt.
Matthias can do that. He can do that He can do that super easy.
And it will possibly bleed,
Yeah.
which would be bad.
Which don't do that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he's gonna nod. He's gonna take the tools, and he's gonna start slow, because naturally he doesn't want to hurt Memoir. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but he will start slowly, just kind of picking through the feathers, and
Mm-hmm.
yep.
Yeah, and there's probably uh, a small like vial of some kind of oil that Memoir will use to coat the tools before handing it to Matthias, because the way that most birds do it is by using oils that come from a spot near their tail, but Memoir is not comfortable with that.
Yeah. Yep, that's fair.
So he will just use, the manually applied stuff, which he used back before he had a tail.
Yeah.
He will hand that over.
And Matthias will apply it. He'll watch Memoir apply it so that he can reapply when needed, and he's gonna start preening, and he's gonna say, if you'd like, you can attack your hair with the comb. That probably would be better anyway, so that it doesn't feel like you're getting your hair yanked out.
Memoir kind of laughs. Says, "Yeah, appreciate that." And he will, start, he probably does the same thing I do when it comes to brushing out my hair,
Mm-hmm.
which is that you actually start with the hairbrush instead of the comb, because you get out the big tangles by just kind of whacking through them with the hairbrush,
Yeah.
and then you go through the smaller ones with the comb.
Mm-hmm.
Because otherwise the comb just gets stuck and breaks in half.
That's why you get a metal comb. But anyway. He's also going to suggest, if Memoir just starts brushing, he's going to say, no, start at the base of your hair. Like, start at the ends of your hair first.
Huh?
You start at the
So that's
ends of
the
your hair
problem,
and
is
work...
it?
You start at the ends of your hair and then you work your way up so that you're not yanking all the hair out.
Alright, try it your way. He does swap to doing that. There are definitely some very big tangles that he has to just kind of... It definitely does make a bit of a ripping sound.
Yeah, which Matthias winces, but he's just like, this is... Yep. Yep, yep, yep. But he's gonna keep preening. He is on a mission now. He's working him way through.
He is doing him best, and we appreciate him.
Yep. There is a small pile of dead feathers growing.
Stuff a pillow with those.
Yeah.
I don't know, use them to make arrows or something.
Depending on if they're downy feathers or not, yeah.
Yeah. The ones near the top of the wings would probably be downy feathers, while the ones near the base are, stiffer for flight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think so. Here's the thing. Here's the problem here. Matthias is content to do this in silence. He's not he can talk, but he's also just like he's not a I can't exist without talking kind of person. He's fine to just be quiet in a room with people. For various reasons, for various obvious reasons at this point. So he's not going to think about making conversation. If Memoir has anything he wants to say or ask, that is go ahead. He will answer. He doesn't think to talk. Is what I'm getting at.
Mm-hmm. I think Memoir will, after a couple minutes, because... fun note, if you look at the image I sent, you see how one of them is asleep?
Mm-hmm.
It does make Memoir sleepy when somebody is preening his wings, and he just kind of shakes himself a little bit as he had started to fall asleep with the hairbrush in his hand, and he kind of laughs a bit at himself and just says, if you don't want me falling asleep during this, I might need to ask you to start talking to me about something.
Oh, okay. And then the problem arises of what does he say?
What does he say?
That's a good question. He doesn't know. He is thinking very hard.
Because I know what Memoir would ask if he can't think of a topic, but this would fluster Matthias, I think.
Go ahead, do it. Fluster him.
So how are things with you and Decimal?
Yep. It's a good thing that Memoir, Jesus. It's a good thing Matthias was like clearly going at a dead feather, because he just kind of goes "Zzz," and the feather comes out, and thankfully it wasn't a blood feather. But
Yeah.
he after a moment he exhales and he just says, I mean, they're going as well as I could hope, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he, we, well, that is to say, I don't know what I'm doing, but, uh, it seems to be working. Memoir can't see because Matthias is behind him, but he is turning beet red.
Well, from what I understand, no one ever really knows how that stuff works. As long as it's working for the two of you.
I think so. I mean, it, it's not. I mean, it's not like Lynn and Gregory or the mayor and his husband or anything like that. It's I don't even know what you I don't even know what you'd call it. It
Does it have to be called anything?
doesn't it?
No. Ember kind of glances over his shoulder as he starts, combing through some of the smaller tangles in his hair
Mm-hmm.
and says, it doesn't necessarily have to be anything. Sometimes you just are each other's person, and that's all that really matters.
Matthias considers this. He's he on one hand he appreciates this because that's a relief, but I think he eventually settles on it feels like it it feels like it should have a something, a name, a something, like I don't know.
Well, we give things names because names are important. Because we want to separate them out from everything else around it, yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
So, it makes sense that you'd want to call it something, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it has to. It just means that you want to, and that's fine. But don't feel any pressure, yeah?
Yeah, okay. Yeah. And he's thinking. He's paused in his preening for a minute to think. Before he realizes, oh right, I was doing a thing, and starts back up. It's easy to distract him when you talk about decimal. um,
You.
he he. Uh, he resumes preening, and he's clearly trying to think of something, and eventually he does say like, "It's I like I don't know what I'm doing, and neither does he, but I I want to." And he frowns, and he says, "I want to try doing the normal, stereotypical,
Classic.
the class. Yeah, yes. I want to try that, but I'm also it's." And he kind of shrugs a shoulder. It's kind of scary too, though.
Yeah, tracks. The classic is built for people who have had a classic life experience, which I don't think anyone we know could say.
Matthias does snort. He's just, no, I don't think that's the case at all.
Don't think any of us have the classic life experience.
Yeah,
If I'm
no.
remembering correctly, Lynn met Gregory in the Torment Nexus and then threatened him about it.
Uh, to hear Gregory say it, something like that.
Yeah. And I'm not necessarily sure how uh, Asclepius and the Mayhem met, but I'm sure it's just as interesting of a story.
To hear RJ tell it was literally a meet cute. If I remember correctly, it was literally the tripped walking across the street and get caught by the tall stranger.
Oh, how charming.
I know, right? Um, that's if I remember correctly. That could not be the case, but anyway. Matthias kind of snorts again and he just says, I'm sure it was. I'm sure it probably was fantastical, or knowing them, it was so mundane it was boring. He doesn't sound. And the thing about when he says that is it doesn't sound. He sounds almost envious about that.
It'd be nice to have some boring, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would.
You and I both. Cursed to live in interesting times, eh?
Yeah. Although, to be fair, Toons have a more lively lives than I do, and what you might consider boring, what I might consider boring, might be insufferable to a lot of you.
You know, sometimes the stuff that goes on around here makes me miss the paperwork part of my job. Paperwork. Matthias, I'm a Toon. I'm a worn Toon. And it's making me miss paperwork.
That's that's kind of what I mean. He just like he nods because like yep he knows at least like he's learning enough about Toons to know like yep that's paperwork is like their bane.
That's the one thing that nobody tells you about Toonkind lawyers. We get a really high pain tolerance. People think it's because we get into so many shenanigans with what we're doing. No, it's because we have to, because we have to sit and do paperwork for hours.
Yeah, and that's
You learn to overcome your limitations.
that's a torture all its own.
Memoir does like a dramatic sigh. The existence I have chosen for myself is one of torment. Be not like me. Learn from my example.
Matthias snorts.
I miss my job though. When this whole mess is over, I do want to get back to it.
I mean, well, yeah, I would hope you do. It sounds like it sounds like you really do like it, and I know how it feels to not, be able to do the things you like.
Yeah. It's kind of been everything I was doing from my second day existing.
He nods at that, like, yeah, okay, that makes sense.
You get thrown into a courtroom drama 24 hours after manifesting. You tend to pick that stuff up pretty quick, and it tends to stick pretty hard.
I guess when that's your formative years, and he makes like a little air quotes with his hands, just like, that makes sense.
Formative hours, yeah.
Yeah. How long ago did you manifest?
Shoot, what year is it?
And he gives current year.
Memoir kinda hums, and how long do we think it's been in canon?
So we know that it was 2
'Cause I know
years.
it's been like 5 years in real world time.
Yeah, it's been 5 years in real world time. It has not been that long in canon. It's been 2 plus. So it was 2, and then they got rescued, and then Matthias got rescued, and then it's been X amount of time. I don't know if it's been a year. I know it's been at least 6 months. It's probably been closer to a year, maybe? Question mark?
Mm-hmm.
It could have been 6. It's been at least 6 months. So we'll just err on and say probably like, we'll slice it in the middle and just say like 2 years, 9 months ish, just to be safe. I don't know. Time's fucky.
How long has Memoir existed?
Yeah.
You know what? For convenience's sake, because timelines give me a headache.
Yeah.
Memoir kind of like tilts his head back a little bit and rattles off, X amount of years, X amount of months, days, hours, minutes, and it is identical to how long Matthias has been here.
Yep. Matthias, I think he catches that, because it's too specific to not, like the X years, X months, X days, and Matthias, or X months, Matthias is like, huh, that's funny. X days, that's weird. X hours, okay. X minutes, okay. What the fuck? And he...
Wait a minute.
Yeah, Memoir, Matthias has stopped preening you.
Memoir kind of, finishes rattling off the numbers and then just shrugs and says, give or take a couple seconds.
Huh.
Yeah, it's always less than people expect.
No, that's not it. That's, When I stumbled out of the alley in Faruma, it was, and he rattles off again, years, months, days, hours, minutes, seconds.
Huh. Memoir kind of looks over his shoulder and smiles at him and says, guess that makes us twins.
He blinks at that, and he wants to be confused about it, and maybe concerned. That seems odd, but also that makes us twins makes him grin a little lopsided.
Yeah. Or doesn't really take it too seriously, because, this is Einquell. Life is already so goddamn weird.
Right.
And he and Matthias have the same kind of magic, so you know what? Sure, this might as well happen.
Matthias just stumbled out of an alley in Faruma as opposed to Einquell, but, whatever.
Yeah, and, he stumbled out of an alley. Memoir stumbled into a crime scene.
Yeah.
Well, stumbled off of train tracks into a crime scene.
Yeah. Did Memoir come out of a box?
He did not come out of a box.
Aww. Sad times.
Memoir got dropped on a set of train tracks with the intent to kill him, and then the fate of death saved his life.
Yeah. Damn. No box for Memoir.
Alas, no boy in a box.
Damn. Tragic. But Matthias resumes preening, and he's gonna file that away for things to maybe ask Retro about the next time he has he feels the next time he feels the narrative need to speak to his goddess is the best way I know how to describe it.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Next time he feels the veil between the two of them pulling.
yeah, because he knows he can't just call like he knows he can call Retro. He knows he can't just call Retro.
He can call her. He can't just call her.
Exactly. He can't just be like, I was just calling to check in. No, it's got to be the hey, this is serious.
Yeah, it's got to be. It's got to be important.
Yeah, exactly. So he knows the next time that he's got to call Retro for something, that's going to be on the list of, hey, by the way,
What the up is fuck?
what hell this?
Yeah.
But
I think as Memoir kind of, resumes combing through his hair, he squints at it and is just like, this is a lot longer than I remember.
what, your hair?
Yeah. It's supposed to be like around my. He like gestures at like his jawline, and instead and he, lets the bit that he just finished combing out fall, and it's, sitting halfway down his chest.
Matthias snorts a little and just says, well, for real kind, that just means you haven't been cutting your hair, but I'm guessing for Toons, it's perhaps a sign that time has passed.
I
Or,
guess.
or that you have changed.
Well, duh. And he kind of, gestures at his whole everything.
Matthias sticks out his tongue.
Pretty sure I'm about as changed as I can physically manage.
And this is just another evidence of it.
Yeah, I guess. Just, damn, my hair hasn't been this long since I changed my name.
On one hand, Matthias is curious, but on the other hand, he knows that's not my business. I don't need to know that. Your memoir. Instead, he just asks, how long ago was that?
Pretty soon after I got out of Happy Fun Times vacation with What's-His-Face.
I think Matthias knows enough about the situation to know that what memoir is referencing.
Yeah.
And so
there is, the sarcastic bitterness about it that,
yeah.
If he couldn't put it together just from what was said, that kind of is the tell of,
yeah.
Oh, okay, you're calling it something silly because it makes you angry.
Yeah. And he just kind of winces and nods and says, I see.
Yeah. Paz had to explain what the fuck gender is to me.
He gives another little laugh like, you didn't know?
Nope. Listen, I stumbled off train tracks into a crime scene, got thrown in jail, and the only things I knew were my name, and that's it. Oh, and that I liked my umbrella. I knew my name, I knew I had an umbrella, and that I liked my umbrella, and that's about it.
Matthias cannot. He can sympathize with that. He nods and he says, sounds like me, in a way. When I stumbled out of that alley, I only knew my name and that the watch was special.
Yeah. And Memoir kind of, raises a hand and cheers, in a cheers sort of fashion of just, memory lane bullshit.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, no, I spent the first half of my life just kind of going with whatever everybody else called me because I didn't know anything else was an option. Everyone just kind of assumed girl, and so I assumed that too.
Huh.
And then I got told there were other options and figured some stuff out, and he does a little bit of a jazz hands.
Matthias nods like, yeah, okay. He clicks his tongue a little bit, and he just, after a minute, and he says, I think being a changeling, I had a bit more idea, just intrinsically, but not words for it.
Identity probably has to be something a little more instinctual when you can change so easily, yeah?
Yeah, exactly.
What's that like?
He kind of actually laughs a little bit, and it sounds a little sad. And he says, I don't change often. I'm a little weird like that. I was forbidden to change, so I can tell you what it felt like to be denied it more than anything. And it kind of felt like being denied the use of your dominant hand.
Mm.
Something that hurt and would the absence is always felt and noticed, but ultimately you can move around and work without it. And now it's like I suddenly got that hand back, and I have to. It's both right and wrong, you know? It. I'm learning to do things again, and it's not like riding a bike like I kind of hoped it'd be. And he laughs a little at that, like.
It's
It's.
picking up something that you forgot how to use.
Yeah. The memories are there, but the muscles aren't. The muscle memory tries to be there, but it's not quite there. I I have to put more effort into actually. I have to put a conscious thought into changing as opposed to it just being natural.
Mm.
But once it starts, it feels natural again.
I get that. Flying was kind of like that for me.
Yeah.
Spent the first part of my life hiding my wings away under all of my clothes and keeping them tucked up because I thought I'd get arrested for being a bird without a bird license. And when I finally figured out that I could have them out without getting in trouble, I'd already gone so long without using them that flying didn't come natural the way it was supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
Had to figure it out from the ground up.
Yeah. That sounds about right, yeah.
He kind of hums and looks over his shoulder at Matthias and just, so, hey, my sympathies.
Mine too. But it's all right now.
Yeah. You got all the time in the world to learn.
Exactly.
And if anyone ever tries to stop you again, we'll fuck them up.
He laughs at that.
Plain and simple, we'll fuck them up.
He after a second he manages out, "You're a lawyer."
Yeah.
You shouldn't be endorsing crime.
I'm not endorsing crime. There are multiple ways to fuck someone up. If one of my friends decides to enact some vigilante justice, and just so happens to put an evil bastard in front of me to get into trouble, I am more than happy to cause some trouble for people who deserve it.
He snorts.
It's part of why I love my job. I get to protect people who can't protect themselves from a system that can be leveraged real fucking easy. And I also get to take down the kind of people who would use that system to get away with horrible things. I get to make the justice system actually enact justice. That will always be satisfying.
Matthias nods. He definitely can appreciate that.
A lot of people think that, you know, the whole lawyer thing, they think that must mean that I have full faith in the law as written. I don't. The law as it's written is a system. Systems can be gamed, systems can be manipulated, systems can be exploited, leveraged, turned against the people they're meant to protect. It is the job of people like me, and like my dad, and like Lynn, to force the law to do what it's meant for, to punish the people who would use it to hurt people, to protect those who would be hurt by that exploitation. That's why I'm a defense lawyer, not a prosecutor, is because sometimes people get accused when they've done nothing wrong, and they need someone in their corner.
Yeah. And, well, if I know anything about you, then I would be glad to have you in my corner.
Well, maybe don't go getting accused of murder, because that does tend to be my specialty, but if you ever did, he kind of reaches over and taps the piece of echo jewelry he made for Matthias.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm only a call away.
And Matthias, again, gives that lopsided smile and just says, yeah, I know.
But seriously, please don't go getting accused of murder.
I don't plan on it.
Okay, good.
There was a moment, a split second where he was thinking of, like, what would I even get accused of murder for? And then he thought for a second, and then he thought for another second, and then he realized, okay, never mind. I'll just say I don't plan on it.
No one ever does. It always sneaks up on you. Like I said, first day of existence, already had a murder charge.
Yeah.
Well, accusation, not fully charged. Managed to defend myself in court with Lynn's assistance, and get the charges lifted, which was good.
Good.
And we also got the bitch that actually did it.
Good.
Fuck her, she was awful. I hate religious bigots with a passion.
That's fair.
He kind of laughs and reaches over to the nightstand drawer, pulls out a dark red ribbon, pulls his hair over his shoulder, and, ties it off to keep it from getting tangled.
Yeah. Matthias is still, because Memoir has way more feather than he does hair. So Matthias is still working, but he's making progress.
Yeah. I think Memoir will, pull his feet up to just kind of sit crisscross applesauce while Matthias works on his wings.
Mm-hmm.
He, tilts his head and says, I really do gotta thank you for being there through the whole... And he kind of does, a spinny gesture with his finger next to his head. That bit.
Matthias just kind of nods. He hasn't brought it up because he doesn't know how to address it. But he nods and he kind of just says, I only... I wouldn't have wanted you to be alone through any of that.
I appreciate that. You were, I think, the only one who was there for all of them? Most of them?
I mean, there were others that were there for most of them, like, uh, and he,
I know you recurred the most often.
yeah, I I guess I did. I guess I wouldn't really know if I didn't. It just felt like I was there for what I needed to be there for.
Yeah. Well, thanks for that.
I was, again, I was happy to. I didn't want you to have to do it all alone.
Don't think I could have. He kind of fiddles with, the ends of the ribbon he just used to tie his hair.
Mm-hmm.
Says, I think if you guys hadn't have been there, well, everything that makes me me would have just kind of spilled out, and that would have been the end of it.
Yeah, and I'm. I don't know how it happened, but I am, in a way, glad that it did, so that we were able to help.
Yeah, I'm grateful for it. I wish it didn't have to happen.
Yeah, it. Yeah, it. I mean, that's kind of how I felt about when I. And he makes like a lobbing motion with his hair. That was a very dramatic night.
Yeah. Well, we all have our dramatic moments, right?
It wouldn't be Inkwell if we didn't, I guess.
Damn right. Only place that's got us beat is Tiara.
He kind of tilts his head, like, really?
Oh yeah. Listen, I've had to study a fair bit of stuff from my job, and I my dad, my papa, he made sure that I would be equipped to serve in any court in Einquell and 90% of courts in Faruma.
Matthias whistles.
Yeah, because he's equipped for both, and he's insane. I had a great teacher. Part of why I'm so good at what I do. I had a fantastic teacher.
Mm-hmm.
But in doing that research, I also researched the court systems of other countries. Tiata has a history of divine interventions in their court system.
Oh.
Yeah. Supposedly, back in the day, they're in one of their municipalities. The entire concept of the judiciary system was founded by the goddess of wisdom herself to get a guy off the hook for divine mandated patricide.
Huh. That's all he can
Because
say.
otherwise, because otherwise he would have spent the rest of his life being tormented and chased by the embodiments of vengeance. How
Huh.
much of that is real and how much of that is mythology? We don't know. And we're too scared to ask.
Given, and he just kind of makes a vague gesture upwards, as if to say, given that gods exist, like, given that the gods are real.
Yeah. But, yeah, no, suffice to say, Tiata fucking scares me.
That's, you know what? That's fair.
I don't think I'd ever want to be there. Einquell's weird as enough. Einquell's weird enough.
Anquil is definitely weird enough. Although Ajte is also kind of weird.
It's got odd in the name, doesn't it?
He just he just kind of waggles a hand like they got real kind, but they look like tunes. They're called object heads. It's strange.
I think all Zatori is kind of 50 different flavors of fucked up.
You know, yeah, I believe that.
There's a couple places I'd like to visit, but so far I haven't really felt the need to leave Einquell much.
Mm-hmm. I get that. When
If
I
you could go anywhere in the world, where would you go?
He kind of thinks. I you know, I when I went to Requiem, I kind of figured that was as far as I'd ever go. And I think I'd like to go back, but not maybe not soon.
That's fair.
I
Requiem, that's where you and Lynn disappeared off to, right?
Yeah,
What was it like there?
it was and he struggles to find the right word. Cuz he's trying to put together, like, how do you describe what Requiem is and what it was, and eventually he settles on it's like a very well maintained. No, that's not the right word. It's it's a monument to what once was, and it's peaceful there. The memories aren't always peaceful, but now it is. It is. And
Peaceful like a grave.
he kind of nods, and he says, "I didn't want to compare it to a graveyard, but yeah, that is, yeah."
When I first heard you guys talking about it, Lynn brought me those memory crystals.
Mm-hmm.
I'll admit I was a little jealous.
I could take you
Couldn't have
back.
gone, even if I. Huh?
Uh, Sorry. I could. We could go back if you ever wanted. Once again, and he gestures. All this is over with.
Yeah. Travel plans canceled due to imminent bastard conditions.
He he gives a little laugh, like, yeah. But once all that's taken care of, I don't know. I think I'd just like to travel. Maybe if I'm able. I'm still working on that.
Well, from what I've heard, the best way to handle traveling when it scares you is to find someone you're willing to travel with.
If Memoir is,
Someone who.
oh, go ahead.
Huh?
I was gonna say, if Memoir is looking at Matthias, he will see him think and then slowly blush red.
Memoir kind of. I like imagining that Memoir kind of like has his head tilted back so he can talk to Matthias as Matthias is sitting behind him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He kind of snorts at that and says, "Hey, I mean, dressing up and traveling is one way to put that kind of relationship.
I, I. He kind of nervously just is like, I didn't say any. Shut up.
All right. No need to get testy.
He does it. He's just like, no, shut up.
Memoir is just grinning. He smiles and says, "But no, seriously. As long as you've got someone familiar with you, from what I've heard at least, anywhere in the world can be home."
Hmm. He thinks about that.
I mean, I don't doubt that, people here would miss you. But let's be honest, I think after this is over, we're all gonna have a bit of cabin fever.
I believe that, yeah.
I love Halloween Town, and it's been my home since I started existing, but spend enough time in one place. Doesn't matter how much you love it.
You start itching just for something, anything different.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't exactly call myself the picture of wanderlust, but I know exactly where I want to go where this is all over, and it's not here. I want to go home. I want
Where's
to go
home?
back to Fraymore Town.
Oh. What's
Get
that?
to. Hmm?
He just said, "What's that like?"
It's certainly not quiet. It's it's this sort of it's just south of the river from Toontown. Not very big, but it's always got something going on. It's up on the he kind of gestures loosely with his hands, sort of up on the this is the sound of Gale looking at the actual interactive map. It's up on the it's a bit northwest from here, northwestern corner of Kolklasiak Island.
Hmm. Matthias
It's
nods.
it's where the it's where the law office that my dad runs is. It's it's where I learned everything that I do. It's not it's not quite as it doesn't have as distinct an aesthetic
Mm-hmm.
as uh doesn't have quite as distinct an aesthetic as Halloween Town does. It's more the sort of place where life happens at its pace and everybody interacts with the daily goings on. The
Okay.
kind of town where not everybody knows each other, but everybody affects each other, if that makes any sense.
He nods at that.
There's, well, for one thing, there's a wonderful museum. And local law enforcement is enthusiastic, if not always competent.
He snorts.
Which means that Papa and I have never out of work.
I
Got
would.
a good library.
It sounds like
It's
a really
sunny.
nice. Oh, and Matthias definitely is like definitely kind of resonates with that one.
Yeah. You can actually roll insight on that if you'd like.
Yay! Eh. That's a 5 on the dice, so that is a. What is your insight plus 9? So that's a 14.
Okay, 14. Yeah, when Memoir says it's sunny, there's something to that.
Mm-hmm.
In the sense of it's sunny, which Halloween Town very much is not.
Yeah.
But also in the sense of it's sunny, and Memoir is someone who is very solar coded.
Yeah.
He is a very sunny person. You know, maybe not in the traditional sense of being cheerful and smiley and happy go lucky, but he is very sun associated.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's sunny, it's not the same as Halloween Town, and it's sunny, it's a place where I fit in.
Yeah. And Matthias definitely, I think, resonates with that, like, a lot more than he probably realizes, just because, like, one, he again, he didn't he might be a twilight cleric mechanically, so he operates in the dark, but he still is like he's very much a I still like the sun. I miss the sun. It's been so long, like, and
Mm-hmm.
also he understands the fitting in part because, like, I mean, he's a changeling. He one, his whole thing is to fit in, but also, like he said, he was denied the ability to fit in, so he kind of stands out,
Mm-hmm.
and so he gets it. This is all to say
Yeah.
he gets it.
Yeah. This is a joke, but Memoir handshake Matthias vitamin D deficiency.
Vitamin D deficiency. Let's go.
Get these bitches some daylight.
Matthias is gonna sunburn and he's gonna be so happy.
Going back would feel like getting back a sense of normal, I guess.
And he nods. That'd be nice to. He doesn't say what he's exactly thinking, he just says, I bet that would be nice, and, he doesn't elaborate on it.
Can I roll insight?
Sure.
Can I use my favorite stupid modifier?
Yes. Yes. 21. So, and this is Matthias is naturally very easy to read.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't like this wasn't a very high DC to begin with. But he it's not that there's like envy in his voice. It's just that when he says that sounds nice, it's it's coming from a place of want because again, he doesn't know what normal feels like right now.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's he can't relate there, but he's trying to not basically say he's not trying to like turn the conversation back to like the whole I don't know things and uh, section that they were in. So he's just
There is an undertone of God, I wish that was me.
yeah, exactly, yeah.
And I think Memoir does catch that, and he kind of like shifts his wing a little bit and kind of bumps it against Matthias's hand and just says, "Hey, you'll find what that feels like for you. Yeah?
He looks a
Even
little
if you haven't gotten a
surprised.
chance yet."
He looks a little surprised at that. He didn't expect Memoir to pick up on that, even though he's an open book. But he offers a small smile and is just like, yeah, yeah.
Sometimes I think you might have gotten it. Not necessarily the worst out of any of us, but boy howdy, you got dealt a rough hand.
He, he kind of laughs a little nervously and he rubs the back of his head like, yeah, it wasn't great. It, I'm, I'm glad it's over with.
But you'll you'll get a chance to figure it out, yeah? You'll be able to find what normal and happy look like for you. It's not gonna stay a dream forever.
And he, after a moment, he smiles, and it's a small smile, but it's warm, and he just says, "Yeah, I know. I just sometimes wish it'd happen a little faster, you know."
Trust me, I get that wholeheartedly. It's just, can interesting things stop happening for maybe like 10, 20 years ish, maybe, please?
Yeah, exactly.
Can we be done? Can it stop happening in my lifetime, in your lifetime, in any of our lifetimes? Which one of us is going to live the longest? That's probably a good question. Certainly not me.
Matthias,
Maybe Lynn.
Matthias coughs a little into his hand and just says decimal.
Yeah, no, good point. Good point. Does he have a lifeline?
Does he what?
Does he have a set lifetime?
Oh,
Does his deal?
I Matthias can only shrug. He doesn't know.
Memoir sits and ponders it and is just like, and again, that is a good way to paradox it. So yeah, can we not have any more interesting events in Decimal's lifetime?
Matthias nods at that, like, yeah, I can get behind that.
I mean, granted, Decimal being Decimal, it'd be counterintuitive, but
That is the nature of him, yes.
I hope he's doing alright. I haven't seen him since the whole shenanigans went down.
I I mean, he's a very secretive person.
Oh, he's a cagey bastard, for sure.
But he didn't seem as rattled as I expected when we last went on a walk.
Mm. That's good. It's one of the things that's been worrying me. You guys worrying about my well-being, that, I mean, I'm right here, but I've been worried that I might have, I don't know, rattled y'all's brains to mashed potatoes. Which would be very rude of me to do to the people who stopped me from being a memoir-colored puddle on the forest floor.
You Thankfully that didn't happen, and thankfully we're all here now.
Yeah, yeah. Fingers crossed that it stays that way, and nobody holds it too far against me. Wouldn't blame them if they did, but
If they
yeah,
did,
the big dinner conversation's awkward.
if they did hold against you, they're gonna have to contend with several of us.
I just wish I could fully remember everything. That way I knew what I was apologizing for.
What do you remember?
Not much. It's hazy, fragmented. It's like trying to recall a dream that wasn't yours. Or was yours, but was a different version of you. He kind of shakes his head. It's like trying to remember something that happened to somebody else.
Hmm.
Something you only saw through a mirror. And I famously don't like mirrors.
Matthias does not look at the broken mirror. He just nods.
Or at the sheet nailed over the bathroom mirror.
He didn't look. Yeah, he's just nods. He doesn't poke fun. He doesn't say anything. He just, yep, all right, yep. You don't like mirrors.
And then more kind of sighs and says, I I remember seeing you a lot, and it was always a different arrangement. And sometimes it was someone's features on someone else's body. It was weird. Sometimes it was all of you at once, but sometimes it was one person.
Hmm.
And I remember so many different conversations, and none of them make any sense. And they all feel kind of rattled together and messy. And I remember he kind of winces and looks a little bit queasy. I remember doing some things that I really wish I hadn't. I never wanted to hurt any of you, but I killed you a couple times in there, I'm pretty sure.
He,
And
yeah.
I never wanted to do that. It sure did happen, whether I wanted it or not.
Matthias eventually, because at this point he has actually stopped preening Memoir. His wings are now preened. Uh, so he's
Hey,
just settled back, but he after a moment says, uh, "I don't. I'm not going to say that it it had to happen or anything like that or any bullshit like that. It sucked, and maybe there was a way we could have avoided it. I don't know, but I I am at least glad that it happened in a space where death didn't mean really anything beyond a tool to learn from. And I am glad that it helped us help you in the end."
you are far too kind for your own good.
Matthias again gives a little lopsided smile. There's enough hate in the world.
And then more kind of hums and sits back a little bit, leaning on his hands and looking up at the ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of stretches out his wings on either side of him. I didn't want to hurt you guys. Even even if that's what it took to stitch everything back together. I don't think I'm ever going to get that feeling out of my head.
Maybe you won't, but maybe it'll get easier to ignore over time. Like most
Maybe.
wounds.
That feels ridiculous. Why am I feeling the pain for the wounds I inflicted on someone else?
'Cause it hurt you too. He just says it so matter of factly.
It didn't in the moment.
Oh no,
In the
but
moment, it felt like the exact right thing to do. In the moment, it felt like you all had everything that I wanted, and I was willing to kill to get it.
Matthias is quiet a moment and then he just says, I think I get that actually.
Yeah?
Yeah. He doesn't I don't think he elaborates there just because it's that's a very heavy topic to get into. But
Mm-hmm.
he just kind of nods and he says, "Yeah. I the most he says is I would have done a lot to get free."
I did do a lot to get to feel complete.
Mhm. But I think more than anything, how you act now is more important than how you acted then. And the fact that it hurts you now is a sign that you aren't that person anymore. Eh? And he kind of squints a little, like he's trying to figure out the best way to word that, and then he just kind of shrugs and says, I hope you know what I mean.
I think the way that I'd phrase it is I am that person, but I can choose to be something else.
Yes.
That nothing you guys met, you didn't have a. You didn't get rid of any of it. Even when you killed that piece, it's not gone. It's just quieter, calmer. There are still certain things that bring it up real loud and nasty, but I can keep it quiet.
Mm-hmm.
I can choose. I can choose to let. I can't choose whether or not I care about something, but I can choose to let that care manifest more as love than hate.
Matthias
And when
nods.
it does manifest as hate, I can use it to hurt the people who hurt the people I love.
He nods. And he says, and that's. It's not that you hate, it's what you choose to do with it.
Yeah,
And that's what matters.
yeah. That's what I'm hoping matters anyway. Haven't exactly had much chance to put any of it into action, but at least now I know what it looks like when I'm at my worst. So I can choose not to be that.
Something about the only way you can go is up now.
Or at the very least, I can put warning signs around the way down. Danger, do not go this way. Moral fuck it upness lays ahead.
He snorts.
And Mark grins and just kind of tilts his head back and just says, You can laugh, I'm funny.
I don't know about that.
Come on. You don't think I'm funny, Matthias?
He,
You would wound my pride as a toon this way?
well, and he's trying to figure out a witty thing to say, but he can't think of it fast enough, and the moment passes, and then he's just like pouts.
Memoir just smiles at him like the cat that got the canary.
He's
Or
just
perhaps
like,
the canary that outsmarted the cat.
yeah. He just pouts and he's like, fine, you're funny.
Thank you. I take great pride in that. He kind of ruffles up his feathers a little bit and then lets them smooth out and says, "Oh, that actually does feel a fair bit better. Did not realize how tangled those have gotten. Well, not tangled, but they get crisscrossed up in each other, and then when you try to get them to lay smooth again, they just don't want to go."
Matthias grins and he says, see, I told you.
Yeah. You picked that up quick.
I'm a good learner.
Well, thank you for putting that good learning to use for me. He kind of stretches his arms above his head, and there is that clinking sound again from the metallic line art as he, stretches his wings out. He's got a decently impressive wingspan.
He does.
The feathers are definitely a lot shinier now that they are clean and no longer a mess.
Yeah. Now that they have been preened and cleaned and everything else.
And Memoir smiles and says, "Do you want to hang out up here and I can order room service?"
Matthias thinks a minute, and he's not weighing, like, should I stay with Memoir? It's more, do I have to do anything? So he thinks, and eventually he just says, room service sounds nice.
"I've got tea up here. You got any preference on lunch?"
He shakes his head, but he does say, is coffee on the table?
I'm allergic, but as long as we make sure we don't swap our cups, it should be fine.
Then, okay. He was wholly prepared to be like, never mind coffee, never mind.
Memoir is just like, listen, Memoir's dad loves coffee.
Yeah, I know.
To the point that it is almost a toonish character trait. Memoir's dad adores coffee. He has gotten over the smell makes me dizzy. And has gotten to the point of just, listen, I'm allergic, but as long as I don't drink it, I won't break out into a horrible fever.
Yeah.
So he will, get Matthias' coffee order.
Matthias is so happy. He's missed coffee so much. He misses coffee so much most days.
Memoir kind of laughs and says, "I'm proud of Lynn for quitting the coffee habit, but between you and Gregory, I'm getting the impression that, might be a little bit of a totalitarian rule over there."
I respect it. I do. And he makes a pained little sound, like, and he says this, and he tries to say it with levity because he understands, how fucked up it is, when he says, look, it was my reward when I was good, and I've been doing good a whole lot, and I want a reward.
Listen, we all need a little treat here and there. Alright?
Exactly.
And I've heard from semi-reliable sources that the coffee here is good. So we'll get you your little treat.
Matthias grins.
Memoir will put in a lunch order for, hot water for his tea, sandwiches, coffee,
Mm-hmm.
preferably some fruit, because Memoir is just like, I have been eating nothing but whatever I could catch in the woods for months.
Yeah.
I want fresh fruit.
Yeah. You need to care yourself. Like, yeah. Um, so Matthias is, I think, like, they sit back and he's just prepared to, like, chat and stuff and such now. Like,
Okay. Do we want to pan out from there?
yeah, I think so.
These two get to have a little blanket nest tea party.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
Well, tea and coffee party with
Mm-hmm.
sandwiches and
Yes.
fruit.
Yes.
And probably vegetables.
Matthias is going to make sure Memoir has a vegetable.
He doesn't need to make sure of anything. Memoir actually really likes vegetables.
Okay, good.
Memoir really likes fruits and veggies. Unfortunately, he has been in the woods for months.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And he's just like, I am so sick of meat at the moment.
Yeah. You need a leaf in your body right now.
I need the green things. Like, he does have, when he orders sandwiches, he does still get his favorite, because his favorite lunch is a BLT. Admittedly, it's usually a BLT from the Ghost House Cafe, but the room service will do in a pinch.
Yeah.
And that does still have meat in it, but he's just like, I am so sick of wild game. I just want nice cold sandwich with lettuce.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah.
I want a leaf.
I want a leaf. One leaf, please.
One whole leaf, please.
I get that. I get that so much. But yeah, I think we can pan out there.
Yeah. That was so fun.
Yeah.
Matthias got to bully Memoir.
He did. And he got to take charge and be like, no, we're doing this. Alright, I'm going to stop my recording.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Bye, listeners.
Bye.